so much stuff happened in this movie. I don't even know where to start. Oh my God, a little bit overwhelming. Please, movie gads, be with me as I give my take on Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, or should I call it the Scarlet Witch trying to fix her brain. It was a great movie, man. I really enjoyed it myself. It's so weird how the Marvel fan base critiques its own movies. It's like 50% of the fan base, oh, this is the greatest movie of all time. Then the other half of the fan base is like, oh, this is terrible. It sucked. It sucked. Well, I can tell you what, I think I'm in the middle of the pipeline. It was some aspects of this movie that I really enjoyed. Then there was some aspects of this movie that I kind of was like, did we really need that? But, before I even really get started with the review, can I just say something real quick? Can we stop spoiling movies? In my own goddamn timeline, last Tuesday, before the movie came out, somebody posted a complete picture of the Illuminati. And, I'm going to go ahead and start getting into spoilers here. So if you haven't seen the movie by now, I mean, it's Monday. Come on, people. Why did you even click this video? But somebody posted a full picture of the full Illuminati. They're like, come on, dude. Really? I mean, we know that Charles Xavier was going to be in there, but I didn't know that Reed Richard or Monica Rambeau's Captain Marvel that was going to be in the movie. Did we really need that? We can't let movies just be surprises anymore. Can we just let movies be movies and just enjoy it when it comes out? Why do you have to be that person to spoil it? Yeah, I'm talking to specific people from these Facebook groups. And like I said, it was even on my own goddamn timeline. I just don't understand. Like, I'm going to ruin everybody's day because I don't care about spoilers. I like to enjoy a movie for what it is from start to finish. I don't like having the plot line spoiled for me before I go see the movie. Now, to actually talk about the movie, storyline, brilliant. I really enjoyed it myself, really enjoyed the plot point of Doctor Strange meeting America Chavez, protecting her from the surprise villain of the movie, the Scarlet Witch, trying to claim her to take her power. That was one plot point that was so happy that was not spoiled for me, because I went in thinking that the Scarlet Witch and Strange were going to team up against Mordo. So really cool that that did not end up being the case. I always find the fight scenes with Doctor Strange and the magical beings of the Marvel Cinematic Universe to be so fascinating, with the hand movements and gestures and just how they're able to combat each other. Obviously, they're not punching and kicking, they're shooting spells at each other. Definitely a Harry Potter-esque wizard and wizardry style to it. It was so just cool, mesmerizing, and fascinating to witness on screen. I love it. I really do. I've loved it since the first one, just how he combats his enemies. I hope we get to see so much more in the future. I have no quarrels or qualms. That was one of my favorite parts of the movie, seeing him battle the other Doctor Stranges and the Scarlet Witch. It was beautiful thing to witness. Now, speaking of Wanda herself, seeing her internal struggle and trying to reclaim her sons that was lost in WandaVision. I tell you what, though, the one part that kind of confused me, she spent the entire movie trying to reclaim her sons, but in all of the realities, where was Vision? I feel like Vision, at least a version of him, should have been included in her perfect makeup of trying to reclaim her family as well, because it's not like he wasn't there as well in WandaVision. So I kind of found that weird. I mean, definitely the children are going to be the most important aspect of her trying to reclaim her family, but I feel like Vision should have been a part of that. But Wanda's inclusion in general, by far my favorite inclusion of the Scarlet Witch or Wanda Maximoff in any film or show in the MCU, period. She was brilliant in this. I loved every version of it, from her just descending into darkness to do whatever is necessary to reclaim her family. And the funny part is that I understand as a parent. I mean, if something happened to your kids, how far into darkness would you go to make sure that your own children would be okay? Now, of course, it's unfortunate that in turn she was trying to sacrifice a child to claim this power to give back to her children, hence turns her into villain territory for sure. But for plot point purposes, it makes sense. And even with that, I still understand her plight. Nice to see the Dark Code get utilized finally in the MCU. I know that we had seen it previously in Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. If you guys ever watched that series, it was a whole series that basically got used with the book. Wasn't really too much of a fan of that. I feel like it definitely got utilized a little bit better here. So she definitely gave Wanda some very cool powers and also gave Strange some cool powers that actually led into one of the end credit scenes as well. So overall, magical capabilities and fight scenes was used utilizing the Dark Hole. And can't think of that light book that Strange used to combat Wanda, but all in all, really cool stuff. Let's talk about Wong, the current Sorcerer Supreme. Since Strange blipped for 5 years, somebody had to take the mantle, and Wong, of course, graciously steps up to take that role. But of course, we already knew that, though, from Spider-Man. I love Wong in this film, man. Drives me crazy that he got some of the best weapons, like that freaking whip and his sword. So cool how he was utilizing that to fight the big octopus at the beginning of the film. Also really cool how he was able to hold his own one-on-one against the Scarlet Witch as well, especially after she had just decimated the entire temple of magical beings where they trained. So really, really loved Wong's inclusion in this film. Now, the newcomer, America Chavez. I thought she would be the breakthrough character in this film. I mean, she was all right. Nothing really too fancy. She had that whole, oh, I'm scared. Oh, I must escape. Run, run, run. Then finally, near the end of the film, she kind of started to master her powers of jumping through universe to universe. Pretty cool power. When it's translated to screen, though, it kind of seemed a little bit boring, if I'm being completely honest. Maybe aside from that big jump that her and Strange had together, where they went through the multiple universes, especially the one where they ended up just being big globs of paint. That was pretty cool. But other than that, I just found her portal jumping powers to be a bit boring. It might sound a little bit harsh because, I mean, that is technically her powers, but I think definitely some training, maybe give her some kung fu, maybe some Black Widow training. I think that would make her character a bit more interesting. Then that takes us to Mordo. So a bit of an interesting plot hole. This is not this universe's Mordo. This is a different universe's Mordo, and he still dislikes Doctor Strange all the same. Now, I am curious on what happened to the regular universe's Mordo. This was not explained. We don't know. We just know that at the end of the first one, he took that dude's magical power that was using it to make his legs work. Other than that, that's all we get. We also get a very interesting fight scene where it becomes painfully obvious that Strange just outclasses him in fighting capability and sorcery capability as well. I mean, he couldn't even beat Strange when he was handcuffed to himself. So it's like, all right. So you learn pretty early on that he is definitely not main antagonist territory. He's just a side villain, just kind of there, just an opportunist more so than anything else. But at least he provided the segue into the most interesting part of the movie, the Illuminati. I have so many mixed feelings about this. Yes, it was cool that we're seeing characters in the MCU that we've never seen before. This is giving us the likes of the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, a new version of Captain Marvel. But then it takes us to this crazy horror style battle between a possessed Wanda from this universe that the Scarlet Witch has been able to take over versus basically this version of the Avengers, Illuminati, whatever you want to call it. This dude, Black Bolt, in the black costume, he lasts all but 5 seconds. He closes his mouth and screams and his brain blows out. That was pretty hectic. I don't really know too much about his comic book version. Is that really his only power? He just screams and just obliterates stuff. It's kind of like a Black Canary style power. Maybe we'll get to see more of him in the future when they actually reveal his version in our universe. I'm curious if he'll get his own movie or he'll just be like a side character or if he'll get a Disney Plus. I guess we'll find out for the future. Then one of the more interesting characters, of course, we get Reed Richard from the Fantastic Four, definitely showcasing his leadership capabilities of the Illuminati. Assume that he is definitely the second in command. Again, sad that he literally only lasted a good 10 seconds against the Scarlet Witch. He was obliterated into a bowl of spaghetti. I think just more disrespectful to the standard of the character that we're dealing with here. I mean, this has been a classic character since the 60s. I don't know, it just feels a very weird way to bring such a big character into the MCU just to kill him off. Obviously, they're going to bring him back for the movie, but I just don't know how I feel about bringing in such a big character like this and then just to kill him. Oh, and then we had Tom Cruise not making an appearance as Superior Iron Man. Like I said, can we please stop doing this, please? Just like that was not Namor, not even close. That was Monica Rambeau's Captain Marvel. Pretty cool showing. She had basically the exact same powers as our universe's Carl Danvers, Captain Marvel. Unfortunately, she couldn't match up to the Scarlet Witch either. Lasted a good minute, maybe. Very interesting fight, but I don't really agree with her death. I feel like that statue falling on top of her, I feel like she could have materialized her powers again before the statue hit her. So I wasn't really agreeing with that. I just feel like it needed to be a part of the plot. But whatever. I would hope that we get to see way more of that in her daughter, Photon, when she makes her appearance in the Marvels. So that's going to be cool. Then we get Captain Carter's return. Of course, we saw this version of Captain Carter in Marvel's What If, the Disney Plus show. Pretty interesting showing as well. Unfortunately, she had her saying, "I could do this all day," and then she throws the shield at the Scarlet Witch, and then she stops it, materializes it, and flicks it back at Captain Carter, and it literally slices her in half. Oh, what a way to go for the super soldier. That's unfortunate. You think that she could have seen that coming and just jumped out of the way? I thought that the super soldier serum is supposed to give you the foresight or the mind capabilities to know that, hey, I should probably get out of the way of this. So I just didn't really agree with any of their deaths. I debate all of them. Now, last but certainly not least, we have Charles Xavier, the leader of the X-Men, being revealed as the last member of the Illuminati. But once again, he lasts maybe a good 5 minutes before the Scarlet Witch takes him down. I call BS. I don't believe it. There's no way an Omega level mutant as powerful as Charles Xavier could have been taken down so effortlessly through the mind. No, not convince me of that. I feel like it should have taken way more knowledge of the mind and understanding of powers to be able to take him down. I'm sorry, just no. I mean, you're more than welcome to debate me, but I wasn't feeling it. Now, in saying that, I certainly understand how powerful the Scarlet Witch is. I did read the House of M comic book. I understand that she has the power to obliterate an entire species just utilizing her mind. I'm still saying that it just should have taken a bit more effort to take down Charles Xavier, though. Defender Strange, pretty cool concept. It was very interesting to see all of the multiple different versions of Doctor Strange. Pretty cool to see that they kind of share the same personalities and similarities. How this Doctor Strange was definitely capable of making the sacrifice play as well. At least not for himself, but for another person. As we know that our Doctor Strange is capable as that as well, as he did sacrifice Iron Man. This Doctor Strange was going to sacrifice America Chavez so that the demon couldn't get the power. And that takes us to Zombie Doctor Strange. I'm really happy that they did this, man. I didn't know that they were going to have the courage to do such a thing with a prominent character in the MCU. What's pretty funny, though, because they were making toys for this movie. And the Zombie Doctor Strange is a pretty gruesome looking character. I'd be pretty interested to see if any parents took their young kids to go see this movie. Definitely my favorite aspect of the film, for sure. I was seeing the fighting capabilities and just the CGI of Zombie Strange. It was really cool to see. Then that takes us back to America Chavez being able to finally fully utilize her powers to take on the Scarlet Witch. Overall payoff, a little bit lackluster, if I'm being completely honest. It was a bit weak. Scarlet Witch realizing the folly of her ways by seeing the Wanda interact with her actual children that she possessed, and the boys seeing the Scarlet Witch as this evil embodiment that is essentially trying to kill their mother. So it's pretty cool for her to see that and realize, like, wow, I have become the villain. I need to stop. Excellent character development for the Scarlet Witch. Like I said, I absolutely refuse to believe that this character is dead. They can try to pass along that lie all they want, but I cannot wait to see what the future holds for the Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange overall messaging in the movie, just realizing that he was definitely in love with Christine, and just that failed relationship could potentially cause the destruction of the universe was pretty cool. So maybe he should try to work that out, even though she's technically married in this universe now. So maybe it's time for him to move on. So pretty cool movie, though, nonetheless. I still think it should be called The Scarlet Witch Multiverse of Madness rather than Doctor Strange. Felt more like a Scarlet Witch movie for me than it did a Doctor Strange movie. I enjoyed it. I really did. Was it my favorite MCU movie? Absolutely not. But I definitely would say it's a part of the higher tier of Marvel Cinematic movies than the lower tier. That's for sure. So we have the extra scenes. We have this mysterious woman in purple. So we know how the Doctor Strange is the master of the mystic arts in our universe. Apparently, this woman is the master of the mystic arts in the dark universe. Ha ha ha. That's creative. So very interested to see how this is going to play out. Sorceress as well. She's asking him to go into this strange portal, follow her to take on some bad guys. So it should be cool to see for Doctor Strange 3, I would assume. Apparently, she is the niece of Dormammu, the sworn enemy of Doctor Strange, the main antagonist from the first film. So pretty interesting to see how they're gonna find their way into a team up. No, that's gonna be cool. Can't wait to see that. And also a little bit further more research, so you've realized that they eventually become love interests as well. So since the relationship with Christine did not work out, I would assume they will eventually find their way to one another in the next movie as well. So like I said, man, overall I very much enjoyed this movie, and hopefully you enjoyed it as well. So what I want to know now is your opinion, your thoughts, your concerns. Did you enjoy it? Do you agree with me? Do you think my opinion is spot on? Do you think I'm way off? Do you think I'm crazy? Do you think I don't need to be doing this and making a moderate income for it? If you do, let me know in the comments below. I really appreciate it. Let's have an honest, open, healthy discussion about it. And if you would be so kind, hit that subscribe button. Hit that super thing so you can loan me a couple of bucks so I can continue to do this. Nah, I'm playing. You don't have to. But, if you want to, I wouldn't be sad. I'm not going to lie. But seriously, though, man, if you follow all of the major blockbusters that come out, I review every single one of them, from Marvel to DC to video games. We do it all here on MarchX79. So make sure you get subscribed. You can follow me at youtube.com/MarchX79. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Thank you all for the support. Without you guys watching the videos, I would not be able to do this. So you don't even understand how much I love you guys just for just clicking on the video and giving me a shot. There's a bajillion reviewers on YouTube, and if you chose to watch my video, I am forever grateful. Don't ever let me not remember to tell you guys that. Truly. All right. As always, I will see you guys on the next one. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.